Hi students, I wanted to touch base with you about your grades. We've had our first due date go by, and this is a good time to tell you how you can, or one of the many ways actually, you can look at your grades, but also give you a little confidence in that your work is being counted, and I do look at it, and I do, you know, want to make sure that it's accurate and that we are following through with the posting of your grades. What you're going to do is log into Pause. Now that may seem a little strange because you may be thinking to yourself, but I see my grade out there in Connect, and you're absolutely right. Now remember, you take your assignment grades, you do your assignments more than once, but I promised you that first of all you would have one drop grade, and also that I would record only the highest grade possible. So how can you see my grade book for your specific grades? Well, you go to Pause and you find your course, whichever one it happens to be. I'm just going to pick, I think I might have, let me pick this one here. So I'm going to go in here, and okay, so I'm in Pause, I'm in my class. Look at these links across the top. Now I would caution you a little bit because a lot of times students are just really drawn to these links over here on the side. These are shortcuts and they don't give you the full picture like you may need. So I would encourage you to look at these links across the top, and you're going to click Grades. That makes sense, right? Now, the different class sections, sometimes I'll conduct an activity in one that I don't quite get to in another. So if this does not look exactly like your class section, that's okay. Like I said, this is my grade book for each particular class has a grade book. I'm going to focus on what's common between all the sections, and that is the Connect quizzes as well as the Connect homework. Okay, well, here's the quizzes. And this is a category. It's not an individual grade. It's the sum of all the chapters. Now, I'm going to immediately encourage you to ignore it, and I'll tell you why. Remember that you have a drop grade, and the computer is not smart enough to understand that this is the total points that it sees in the quiz category. Well, that would be true, but we're going to throw out one of those quizzes altogether, so it doesn't count towards the total, right? Here's another thing about the quiz category, but also more importantly about your grade. Here's the Chapter 1 quiz. See how it says 10 out of 20? Well, as you know from the syllabus and from Connect, each one of your assignments is got a total point value of 20. It's worth 20 points. Well, it looks like this student, this is my student account, so this is me, this is Z McGrory. Well, she only got a 10 out of 20. And we know that's half, don't we? And so it's 50%. Well, I posted a reminder note to you here that what I'm going to do, well, part of it is information for you, is I'm going to post the numeric grade of your actual point value. So in other words, she actually earned a 10 in Connect. However, in the final calculation of your grade, you know that this doesn't count because we've talked about this and it's in the syllabus. So unfortunately, when we get ready to calculate the grade, this is a 0 out of 20 points possible. And I just want to encourage you, I'm not trying to punish you, but I am trying to get you to not quit on you. There's no student in our class that is not capable of being a solid B student. I think you're capable of even greater than that with an open note, open book, untimed homework assignment. I think you can do it, okay? And I understand you may not be perfect every time, but nevertheless, I think you can do this, okay? You can get a solid B. Now, what does it take to get a solid B, and how do we calculate these grades? This is 10 out of 20. So if I took 10 and divided by 20, you see that that's 0.5, and I would multiply that by 100 to convert it to a percentage, and it's 50%. So that's, you can tell by looking at that. But what if you had gotten a different grade? What if you had gotten a 17 divided by 20? 0.85. Well, if we multiply that by 100, which makes it a percent, that is your 85%. So you really need 17 out of 20 for that grade to count. Okay, now Just remember, okay, so if you, let's say, because as I say this, I know that some students are saying, oh, right, I don't have a 17 out of 20 on more than one assignment. Because remember, this was just the quiz category, and I can scroll on down. Most students do forget to scroll down, so make sure you scroll down, and you'll see that this is the homework category, right? Well, if you didn't get your 17, like you see here, the highest grade I got on this homework was 12 out of 20. Um, don't give up, and this is why I say that. We tend to think in terms of on and off, true and false, pass or fail. If you've done poorly on the first really 6 assignments, because it's Chapter 1 homework, Chapter 1 quiz, Chapter 2 homework, Chapter 2 quiz, Chapter 3 homework, Chapter 3 quiz, that's 6 assignments. Um, you know, yeah, it hurts you a little bit, okay? I mean, that's 2, 4, 6, 60 points just for homework, 60 points for the quiz. That's 120 points, right? But you have hundreds of points to earn, and you can look at the syllabus for the exact total. I mean, don't forget, for example, you are preparing, by doing your homework, you're preparing for the exam. You do have a drop grade homework, you have a drop grade quiz, you even have a drop grade in your exam. So I hope you are, striving to do better. Maybe you just were really thrown for a loop because of financial aid and, you just had a late start. Okay, well, shake it off, but don't just, don't lie to yourself. You need to do better. You need to bring yourself into focus, but it's still doable. Okay, let's say that you do get a B for this semester. A B is a good passing grade. Nothing wrong with a B, okay? So there are many shades between pass and fail. It does not mean that you have an F, okay? But what I want you to get comfortable with is coming into your course in pause, clicking on the grades link, and knowing that anytime you can see what I see in terms of calculating your grade. Now, you do have to apply the rules from the syllabus. Like I say, one drop grade, and also understanding that if you see that you only made a 50, that grade is going to hurt you much worse, because you need to make, and here's why, remember, because in Management 1000 I gave all of you more attempts at the homework than any of the other class sections have. And so in exchange for that, I want you to apply yourself harder. You can save the work and come back because it's not timed, right? You can use your textbook, and just really get into the material. But the point of the homework is not to race to the finish line. The point of the homework is to immerse yourself in that material. And for those of you who have been doing the homework, I can really tell in class, because your participation on the topics reflects that you're doing it. And I want you to know that I do see that, and that's important. So, if you're discouraged, I want you not to be discouraged. I want you to be informed that the grades area is where you look at your grade book. And I also want you to monitor this. It's so important. And then just to keep pushing yourself to do, even more, and to get that top score. I think you can do that. And I know you have many things going on, but this is your way of monitoring that grade book and seeing when things got posted. I will send you an email letting you know. For example, I'll say the quiz grades for chapters 1, 2, and 3 and the homework grades for chapters 1, 2, and 3 have been posted. So I'll send you that information so that you can go out there and double check. Oh, because did I say that? I want you to double check this also. It is possible. I have 75 students actually I have more than that in Connect, and today I've been transcribing grades, and I mean manually typing from one system. I go over to the other system and I type in a grade. Very easy for me to make a typo, make a mistake. If I did, just send me an email and say, Dr. Joan, I don't know why you have 10 out of 20 there, but I scored a 17 or an 18 out of 20, and I'd like you to go double check it. And I'll be glad to do that. I do make mistakes, and I'm glad to correct them when I do. And I want you to know I make every effort to be accurate the first time. But unfortunately, I do make mistakes. I am human, and but if you bring those to my attention, no worries. I'm happy to accommodate you on that.